Welcome to Urban History, and today I'm going to unbox the PT76 from Rubicon Models. I intend to build this for an upcoming Vietnam project, so let's have a look at what's in the box. Well, first let's have a look at the back of the box. So on the back of the box we've got a nice little description of what the PT76 is, as well as just a look at the decal sheet and what's inside. So let's crack it out and have a look. So we have our instruction manual and all the sprues wrapped up in their individual plastic parts. We also have the decal sheet inside the instruction manual. So let's have a look at the decal sheet and see what's on it. So we have quite a few markings for quite a few nations, as well as a bunch of numbers. So going from the top left and working my way across, I believe our first one is the People's Liberation Army. Then we've got Vietnam, the Viet Cong. Then we have the Soviet Union, I believe Romania, Naval Forces, not quite sure, Bulgaria, East Germany, Syria or Iraq, Angola, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Angola, Hungary, Soviet Navy, Russian Navy, VDV, Poland, I'm not quite sure, and then some guards markings for Soviet forces. So quite a lot here. There was a little bit of decal slippage, in particular on the Vietnam and Bulgarian and East German ones. At time of publishing this video, which is 2 weeks after I made this kit, and a week and a half after I emailed Rubicon support, I've not yet heard a response to asking if it's possible to get a replacement part. So a little bit disappointed there, but hopefully I will get a response. Maybe they're just a bit overwhelmed at the moment. We'll see what happens. Now, the audio corrupted for this one, but here I am looking at the first of the sprues. We've got, I believe this one is for the Vietnam version, the one I'm pointing at right now. The one on the left-hand side is the A. Oh, look, I point at it too. How good. And then in the middle, we've got the underside of the hull. I'm kind of shook at how large these are. You do have to drill some holes underneath them, which I'm a little disappointed at when every variant needs a hole and I need to drill it. But let's have a look at our next sprue. I'm a little shocked by how large the PT76 is. We've got here, this is the hull for the waterline version. So when you flip it over, you can see it's just like that. I'm going to hope that I can build both the waterline and the land hull, and just have to switch the turret between the two. That would be very great. That would be an amazing thing for Rubicon to do. I feel it won't be possible. We got the hull sides here, so we can have a look at. They're kind of indistinguishable to me, but I'm sure one version is for the B and one version's for the A. And then we've got the lower land hull. We've got 2 more sprues to go. So we got, looks like some jerry cans up here. Zoom in. Some jerry cans of some sort. No idea. I know this goes on the back of the turret of the B version. Pickaxe. These could be spare road wheels, or they could be the actual road wheels for the truck. Although if we go down, there's a lot of road wheels down here, so I'm tempted to say these are the spares. We've got 2 versions of the gun. One with a muzzle brake, one without. Some handrails or radio perhaps. Shovels. Some cables. Turret hatches, we got one where they can be both closed or one where they can be opened individually. And I believe the other sprue will have a different version of that. Pretty sure these are radios. Now this is a machine gun of some sort. Couldn't tell you which one. We got the tracks. What I really like is how detailed they are. What I don't like is I do prefer Rubicon's single track experience. Even though it is lower quality track, but you get what you get. And then we got the road wheels. And our last sprue. And on this sprue we've got some turrets. Now, one of these will be for the B version and one will be for the other. I believe this one's the B turret, but please don't quote me on that. We've got two different tank commanders. We'll flip over, have a look from this side. Now, I believe this one is post-50s, and this one's 1950s. Could be the other way around. We got the back here, and one cool thing is they've given you the option to build these, which don't ask me what they're called, but it's how the PT-76 navigated in the water. One thing that is annoying, which would have been great, is this here. This could have very easily just been on the bottom of one of these turrets, but it means that you can't make both turrets like you can, for example, with the Sherman kit, because you only get one of these pieces. I'm also thinking, because you only get one of these, you won't be able to do a water line and a land one, but we'll see. We got the Dishka. There's our separate cupolas, or copulas, or however you want to say them. And then a bunch of these. I have no idea what these are. Yeah. Now the face details, as again with Rubicon, are a bit soft. We get two different guys. We got kind of contemplative and shouty man. Yeah. So that's the PT-76 sprues. Let's build it and see how it turns out. So we're at the half an hour mark, and this is definitely one of the more difficult Rubicon kits, as this is all I've managed to do, and I've still got so much more to go. So one thing I did edit is I moved the little stand for the commander from one side to the other, so I could have, I'm going to say it's probably the gunner, sticking out the turret playing with the Dishka. He's not in a firing pose, and if that fired, he'd, you know, need health insurance. But he's playing with some lever there. Not sure what that lever does, but yeah, I'm an expert on the Dishk. One thing that was frustrating is, so though that elevates up and down, once you put the mantlet on, it's so tight that it can't. And the gun will not point straight. So you can see I've put some plastic putty in there to try and fix up a gap that I had to make to get the gun to point straight. Could be user error. I don't think so. I've made plenty of Rubicon guns point straight in the past, but I've now just glued it into that forward-facing position. These little things underneath, I don't know if it's an antenna or if it's just handholds or what, but anyway, the things underneath there were a novel way to get them on. If I can grab their sprue. You can see here they are. So they're almost their own sprue attached. And so you cut this big triangle shaped piece off. You only need 4, but it comes with 6, which is very handy. I didn't hate it. It was a new thing, and I didn't hate it. Needs a little bit of refinement, but yeah, no, I thought it was cool. Yeah, the turret's very complicated. This is definitely one of the more complicated Rubicon kits. So I'll get onto a break for a bit, and then we'll get back into it. And here it is, the completed PT-76. So I did do a couple of modifications myself. I moved the commander seat onto the other side so I could have this guy poking out playing with the Dishk. The other thing was I found it very frustrating getting this cable on. So on the other side, I kind of just cut the hooks off the cable and just put the hooks on themselves. You can see I used a little bit too much glue, which thankfully it discolors, but it doesn't warp or anything, except right there where I think I pressed too hard, and you can kind of see my fingerprint. Don't steal my identity! Sorry, headphones users. This piece was fiddly to get on. It was a little bit annoying. You do not get enough pieces to make the hull waterline, which I expected, but I also wouldn't be spending $45 just to be able to do that in the middle of a game, you know what I mean? So, yeah. The kit it's more towards a real scale model kit than it is towards a wargaming piece, I found. But it is durable, like, don't drop your models, but Look at that. It's pretty durable. Now, I think I said earlier that the kit stuffed up with the gun. It may actually be me as I'm looking at it. I think I actually put the mantlet upside down, perhaps. But again, I'm not certain. So if it is the kit's fault, it's the kit's fault. And if it's my fault, it's my fault. Let me know if you have a PT-76, which one it is. But yeah, we're going to get this painted up and done to look like Vietnam for our brewing Vietnam force. For a size comparison, here is, with an unpainted tank commander, here's a Rubicon T-34. So you can kind of see how much larger the PT-76 is. It definitely seems more like a heavy tank when it comes to size, even though it is a light tank. Yeah. Thanks for watching Irvin History. We'll have another model coming up soon, which I may or may not do a video, depending on how frustrating I find it to be. It's going to be perhaps one of the most detailed model kits I ever do, so we'll see what happens there. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe. Really helps us out. See ya.